students, this is the third video on the internal structure of the medulla, and this is a transverse section at the level of the olive. Okay, now in the external features, if we see this section, this is the third section which is passing through the floor of the fourth ventricle in the lower part of the floor, that is the medullary part of the floor of the fourth ventricle. This section is passing on the posterior view. If we see this section passing from the anterior view, it is passing at the level of the olivary swelling. Okay, so we have already seen about at the level of pyramidal decussation, then at the level of the great sensory decussation, and this is the third video at the level of the olivary swellings or olive. Okay, let us see this video and you will see this section at the level of the olive that there are so many changes are seen. Okay, and in this section you will see that there are so many new nuclei have appeared. So the arrangement of the just gray matter is quite striking. Okay, and it is striking not only because, as I said, that so many gray masses have appeared here and they are have shown the changes in their distribution in comparison to that of the first video. Let us see this first video. Okay, this was the arrangement in the just at the level of the great sensory or sensory decussation. Here the gray mass was mostly at the periphery or surrounding to that of the central canal, but here it is now some new nuclei have appeared. Okay, now and another striking feature is that there is no central canal. See this was the central canal and central canal has disappeared, so that the posterior most part of and surrounding area of central canal is not here. So it is here in place of that. It is the floor of the fourth ventricle which is covered by a thin layer of the gray matter. Okay, it is now there are the other changes which have been seen is that very striking changes that there is no gracile and cuneate nuclei are seen on either side, and this is because of the disappearance of the gracile and cuneate nuclei and the shifting of the central canal to form the floor of the fourth ventricle. Okay, this is quite different than that of the previous section. Let us see the arrangement of the gray matter first in this section. Now, if we see the gray matter, the total amount, as I said, has increased. Okay, in this level. Okay, new gray matter nuclei are seen. Let us see the gray matter here. This is the same hypoglossal nerve nucleus or the 12th cranial nerve nucleus. Okay, I have just represented it with the Roman number, the 12th cranial or the hypoglossal. Just lateral to it, it is the dorsal nucleus of the vagus. Okay, 10th cranial nerve, dorsal nucleus of the vagus, and still lateral to it there is the presence of the nucleus of solitary tract. Okay, I will just label it here. Okay, anyway, nucleus of solitary tract. Okay, this is the nucleus of the solitary tract is seen here. Okay, then still lateral to this is a lowermost part of the vestibular nucleus is seen. Okay, this is the lowermost part of the vestibular nucleus, and vestibular nucleus is quite large, and this is the lower part in medulla because it will extend into the pons also. Okay, at the pontomedullary junction, the width will increase and it will extend into the pons also. So this is the lowermost part of the vestibular nucleus. And then you can also see these two small nuclei, and this nuclei is the dorsal and ventral. Dorsal, this is the dorsal, and this one is the ventral. Dorsal and ventral nuclei of the dorsal and ventral nuclei, cochlear nuclei. They are in the cochlear. They are just in relation to this white bundle of the fibers, and this is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now this is in relation to the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So these are the two dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei. Cochlear nuclei are seen here. Okay. Then we will see the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Here on this side I will, and this is medial to that of the inferior cerebellar peduncle here. So I will just write it here. It is the spinal nucleus of trigeminal, okay, nerve, and trigeminal nerve, and just lateral to it is its tract is also present. Okay, so the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve and its tract, okay, is located here on either side. Okay, on either side. Then the nucleus ambiguous. Okay, this is the nucleus ambiguous. I will just write here nucleus ambiguous. It is present here in the reticular formation. So this is network of the fibers and nerve cells here. That is the reticular formation, in the center of which it is the nucleus ambiguous is seen. Okay, a large nucleus which is which has appeared at this level is the inferior nucleus olivary, inferior nucleus of olivary, or you just call it the olivary nucleus. Okay, inferior olivary nucleus is here. Just on to the medial and to the dorsal aspect of it, these two small masses, they are also called as accessory olivary nucleus. This one is the large crumpled mass of the gray matter is the inferior nucleus, olivary nucleus, inferior olivary nucleus, and these two small masses, they are accessory olivary nucleus, accessory olivary nuclei. And then this small mass which was also present in the previous section here, it is the same, the arcuate nucleus. Okay, arcuate, right and left, arcuate nuclei. Okay, so this is the arcuate nucleus. So how many gray matters we have seen? Hypoglossal, dorsal nucleus of vagus, the vestibular nucleus, dorsal and ventral, cochlear nuclei, nucleus of the solitary tract, ambiguous nucleus, spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. Then we have seen the inferior olivary nucleus and accessory olivary nucleus and the auditory nuclei. Okay, I'm sorry, arcuate nucleus. Okay, we have seen so many gray masses. They are spread up in this section at the olive. Let us come to see the white matter, and the white matter is here. This blue mass here is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. See this, it was the dorsal, okay, dorsal spinocerebellar tract, or the posterior spinal cerebellar tract. So this dorsal or posterior spinocerebellar tract now it will form, okay, inferior cerebellar peduncle. That means fibers of the dorsal spinocerebellar tract along with the crossed fibers of the inferior olivary nucleus, they will form the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So how inferior cerebellar peduncle is formed? By the fibers which were the fibers here at the level of the pyramidal decussation or at the level of the great sensory decussation. These fibers of the posterior or dorsal spinocerebellar tract will join with the fibers which are taking origin from the inferior olivary nucleus of opposite side, will form the inferior cerebellar peduncle. This is the same, okay, anterior spinocerebellar peduncle, cerebellar tract, anterior spinocerebellar. It is on the same position. See, this was the anterior spinocerebellar tract. It will remain in its same position is here. Okay. Now, then some of the fibers, they are the ascending tracts. Okay, those are sensory ascending tract going towards the higher level. One of this important is this one, and this is called as the lateral corticospinal tract. Not cortico, lateral spinothalamic tract. Lateral spino, which was also in the previous section as we have seen. This was the lateral spinothalamic tract on either side, carrying the pain, touch and temperature fibers from spinal cord to the thalamus. So it is called spinothalamic tract. Okay. There will be other tracts also, smaller tract which I have not shown, ascending and descending, rubrospinal, tactospinal, okay, olivospinal fiber, which will be seen here from the level below this. Okay, I have not shown here in this label. Okay, now coming to this dominant pyramidal tract. Okay, this is the pyramidal fibers in the pyramids. Okay, so these are, as I said in the previous, it is in the same position and they carry the corticospinal fibers, motor fibers, which will form the after decussation, which will form the anterior and lateral corticospinal tract, cortico. Then there is a medial lemniscus. Okay, this was after formation of the decussation of the internal arcuate fibers, and they will have formed this medial lemniscus, which is now ascending upward on either side of the median plane. So this is the medial lemniscus. Medial lemniscus. This is the medial lemniscus is here, okay, which carry the conscious proprioceptive fibers to the thalamus, okay, to the thalamus. Now, there will be other medial longitudinal fasciculus and tactospinal tract. See this? This is the tactospinal tract. I will just mention here as tactospinal tract, TST, tactospinal tract, from superior colliculus to the various level of the spinal cord. And this is the same which we have observed into this medial longitudinal bundle, which was in the lower level, okay, and it is the same, the medial longitudinal bundle, okay. So the tactospinal tract, and then posterior to it, it is the medial longitudinal bundle is here, and then the reticular formation is in the same position, in which embedded is the nucleus ambiguous. So this is the reticular formation, which I said will extend throughout the brain stem. Thus, this is the distribution of the white and the gray matter in the uppermost section of the medulla to understand its internal structure. And this is also quite different than that of the lower level. Okay, it is quite different than that of the lower level. The striking feature, as I said, is that disappearance of the central canal and the appearance of the floor of the fourth ventricle. Similarly, the disappearance of the accessory and cuneate and the gracile nuclei from the posterior part, okay, posterior part. So this completes the internal structure of the medulla oblongata through the 3 short videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. Next video will be on the internal structure of pons.